Salutations everybody, it is Maddie here today, and we are going over the good and ugly for Bethesda's most controversial announcement at E3 2017, the Creation Club. Now the reason I waited on this discussion was to see if any more information would crop up about this from Bethesda, and Hines did offer some responses on Twitter, so we will be going over that along with the official information on Bethesda Net. Now you may be wondering, what is Creation Club? And Bethesda describes it as a collection of all new content for both Fallout 4 and Skyrim. It features new items, abilities, and gameplay created by Bethesda game studios and outside development partners, including the best community creators. Creation Club content is fully curated and compatible with the main game and official add-ons. So the way Bethesda is trying to describe this is adding new content to the game created by themselves, as well as outside development partners such as freelance developers and any other development team that would actually want to partake in creating content for Fallout 4 and Skyrim, and including the best community creators, aka modders. There is a credit system in place in Creation Club, and the only way to get these credits is through paying with real money. Now, I'm not saying this will fix everyone's problems, but I think there should be an option to get this content for free, perhaps following the route of the Ubisoft Club, where as you get achievements in the game, you also get these points for your Ubisoft Club account, which then you can download free DLC from if you have enough points. Like I said, I don't think that'll fix anything, but I think that would be a good option to offer players. A reward for playing more of the game, but also players will interpret that as, oh, I have to grind to get this DLC. So once again, it throws another problem into the mix. Now, what type of content will be included in the Creation Club? Well, Bethesda says weapons, such as new weapons, materials, skins, parts, etc., apparel, new outfits, armors, and items for your character, world, new locations, decorations, foliage, etc., characters, new abilities, characters and companions, creatures, new enemies, mounts, pets, gameplay, new types of gameplays like survival mode. So it's covering the whole 9 yards here. Basically everything we've seen in mods, such as the weapons, the apparel, new locations, etc. Now here's the thing, this content sounds cool, you know, new gameplay modes, new worlds and locations to explore, but my problem lies in the fact of what Bethesda showed during their Creation Club trailer to promote what we could be paying for, such as a survival mode in Skyrim, such as Dwemer mud crabs. This doesn't compel me to pay. Now apparently it was a joke. I think it was an awful time to make a joke, personally. I think they shouldn't have taken this lightly, and what would have really sold people on this is if they showed maybe some new locations, something along the lines of a Nuka World, a Far Harbor, something with loads of content that shows that, hey, this is actually, if you're going to pay money for it, worth it. Because now I have this position where I'm looking at what they're promoting these, for example, the horse armor in Fallout 4 as power armor, and I laugh because they expect me to maybe consider paying for that when I'm looking at so many gigantic free mods, such as Beyond Skyrim Bruma, Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, Fallout Cascadia, Fallout the Frontier. There are tons of gigantic mods out there that are being created with high detail for free also. And Bethesda is suggesting that maybe we pay for some of these crazy things. Like I said, I think they needed to come out and present something worth money, not just these zany items that I'll get 2 minutes of enjoyment out of and then put down. Which leads us to our next bit of info. How do I get Creation Club content? Creation Club is available via in-game digital marketplace in both Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition, and purchased with credits. Credits are available to purchase on PSN, Xbox Live, and Steam. Your credits are transferable and can be used in both games on the same platform. So what that's saying is that if I bought $10 worth of credits, for example, that those credits could be used on both Fallout 4 and Skyrim for my PC. The issue I have also with the credit system is it seems like a camouflage for people to not interpret this as paid mods. They could just say you'll pay for the content directly, but I think adding this credit system initially is almost like this attempt at tricking or disguising what this system really is at its core. If I'm accepted to be a creator, what can I create and what is the dev process? This is probably one of the more interesting parts. Creators are required to submit documentation pitches which go through an approval process. All content must be new and original. Once a concept is approved, a development schedule with alpha, beta, and release milestones is created. Creations go through our full development pipeline, which creators participate in. Bethesda Game Studios developers work with creators to iterate and polish their work along with full QA cycles. The content is fully localized as well, and this ensures compatibility with the original game official add-ons and achievements. So here in a way is where I see a smidge of good, a smidge of potential, is that this isn't like the paid mod system where people are going to copy mods and put a price tag on them, but rather you have to submit a actual game pitch to Bethesda Game Studios themselves, and they have to approve it, which makes me imagine that not everyone's going to get into this, that there's going to be a very small percentage of modders in this program. What's also possibly good about this program is having Bethesda Game Studios involved may lead to situations where, for example, we're not going to hear a same couple of voice actors in a mod with different qualities of microphone because everyone's situation is different, but rather across the board good voice acting. But that also pops up an interesting situation for Fallout 4. Does this mean for mods that bring us to a new location and we're talking a new NPC and stuff, is Bethesda Game Studios going to bring back Brian T. Delaney? Are they going to bring back Courtney Taylor? Are they going to bring back all the companion NPCs and have them record new lines as well? How does that work into Fallout 4? Or do the companions just not comment on anything? Do you have a silent protagonist the rest of the way? There's a lot of interesting things at stake here. But with that said, I truly believe that the modding landscape is just too vast and wild for Bethesda to entirely tame, where ideas can possibly be copied and all these things with the Fallout 4 voice acting. There's just too many if, ands, or buts about it to make this a really steady and consistent system, in my opinion. Are creators paid for their work? Yes, just like our own game developers, creators are paid for their work and start receiving payment as soon as their proposal is accepted and through development milestones. Once again, I do view this as a positive. I know some people out there do believe that modders shouldn't be paid, and I know some modders out there don't want to be paid because they do this out of passion and that they feel it adds additional pressure. I understand that, but for me personally, as someone who covers mods a lot on the channel, and those mods have brought a lot of success to my channel, and on top of that, these mods have brought us endless hours of enjoyment, tons of longevity to a title, I have to say that this is great to see them possibly getting paid for this, especially when it's going to be a select few who create truly quality stuff, depending on what Bethesda really starts releasing here. I don't want people though to mistake me saying positive things about the system for me approving of it. I do see a couple of good things within it, a couple of good ideas, but I see mostly bad. But what I'm saying is that I'm not against, for example, modders being paid. And then the last question on this entire post is Creation Club paid mods? No, mods will remain a free and open system where anyone can create and share what they'd like. Also, we won't allow any existing mods to be retrofitted into Creation Club. It must be original content. Most of the Creation Club content is created internally with some external partners who have worked on our games, and some by external creators. All content is approved, curated, and taken through the full internal dev cycle, including localization, polishing, and testing. This also guarantees that all content works together. We've looked at many ways to do paid mods, and the problems outweigh the benefits. We've encountered many of those issues before, but there's a constant demand from our fans to add more official, high-quality content to our games, and while we are able to create a lot of it, we think many in our community have the talent to work directly with us and create some amazing new things. So here is where I start to get a little confused, because they are saying that at the end of this statement, we think many in our community have the talent to work directly with us. So those are modders. We are paying for content in the Creation Club. So when they're selling us this and they're saying it's not paid mods, meanwhile they're promoting that we want to work with members of our community and sell the content they're creating with us, to me, that says paid mods to an extent. Like I said, Creation Kit feels like a camouflaged, a bit more refined system of what paid mods is. But what really sheds the most light on what Bethesda views this program as is Pete Hines' responses. So let's go through some questions that fans were asking Pete about this program. Will the size limit of mods on PS4 also apply to Creation Club content on the system? Creation Club is different, Pete says, isn't part of mods and how they are handled. We QA, we publish. So what this essentially is, from my point of view, is a workaround for both the PS4 and the Xbox One to get big mods. I mean, every time I post a big mod, for example, a Sky Oblivion video, the first question I always see is, can this come to Xbox One somehow? And the answer is always no, because Xbox can't handle mods of that size. Plus, PS4 is unable to use external assets on their mods because of how Sony approached the situation, so Bethesda has also created this to allow PS4 users to experience those mods that have external assets. And so, in my opinion, it kind of sounds like PS4 is going to be paying for mods that they should really be experiencing for free in a way, because the Xbox One mods actually aren't too bad. But point being is, if this program was really just for those big new worlds, like a Far Harbor, like a Nuka World, like a Dragonborn DLC, in these games, then I can see why people should pay for them. But like I said, once again, what Bethesda put up front to give us an idea of what you'd be paying for in this creation club just wasn't convincing and utterly a slap in the face. What's going to happen to free mods now that Creation Club has been announced? Pete Hines says nothing. Folks can continue to create and use them just as they have been. So mods will continue on. You can still go to your modding system on Bethesda.net, on the Nexus, and download mods for free. What Bethesda is saying Creation Club is a place where you pitch an idea and you work with them to create this content, and then they sell it. My thought here is, what is stopping someone from seeing what is created in the Creation Club content and then taking that, putting it on Nexus, and selling it for free? I admire that Bethesda is saying you cannot retrofit previous mods to put into our program, but what's stopping someone from doing the reverse here, taking a Creation Club piece of content and then putting it on Nexus for free to everyone? I'm sure Bethesda would eventually take it down. It's one of those things where I wouldn't be surprised if someone directly copied an idea that was put in a trailer and put it out on the Nexus for free. So they are not mods or DLC, but add-on material outsourced but QA'd internally and sold to modify or add on to the games. Pete says no, BGS devs work on it too, as do external devs. So my thought here, my dream idea would be, oh, imagine this if Obsidian Entertainment was outsourced and made Fallout 4 DLC. How cool would that be? Is that possible? Is that what Bethesda is referring to, for an example, as external developers? Once again, out of the very, very minimal good things to come out of this, that actually sounds pretty good. I think a lot of people would be willing to pay for a piece of content created by Bethesda Game Studios, Obsidian Entertainment, and some of the best modders in our community. That sounds fine to me personally. Will that be the case? I don't know. I doubt it's always going to be the case, but I think once again, that would have been really good for Bethesda to come out with and say, hey, look who is going to work with us. I wish they would have specified who these external developers are. Are they just freelance people, such as like Chris Avallone? He's a freelance writer. Is he someone who's eligible for this program? Or are these development teams that you can outsource this content to? And now the final answer, and the one that really grinded my gears. If they aren't paid mods, then they're DLC, which should be covered by my season pass now. Or was that a lie too? They're not either. It's internally developed, not sold like DLC, not part of mods. Okay, I don't understand this response, because my initial thought is, what the hell is it then? My point of view is, if you are giving me content online to pay for that I am downloading, that is DLC. If this content is created by a community member, a modder that Bethesda in turn helps develop and then sells to us, I am paying essentially for a mod. So saying they are neither and that they are internally developed makes no sense. It's like Bethesda is really hell-bent on just denying that, no, this isn't paid mods. No, it's not paid mods. It's not paid mods. It's like that drunk kid at the party who pisses himself and he just won't admit that he actually fucking did it. It's obviously frustrating for many reasons, but what's most frustrating to me is that they came out with this idea and they barely have anything to say on it, especially after the huge community backlash. And all they do in response is deny constantly, it's not paid mods, it's not paid mods, it's not paid mods, in a form it is. You are very much promoting in this entire article that you are working with the community members, modders, to create content which you are in turn selling. Yes, Bethesda Game Studios is working on it, so sure, we could just say it's not a mod anymore because it's official content. No, you're paying for essentially a mod. There is some potential in this system. It is exciting as a YouTuber because there's more official content to cover, sure, but it puts a huge divide in our community. It puts a big fork in the middle. Should modders get paid? Should modders not get paid? People are pissed off constantly. People hate Bethesda even more now. I feel like even with this program, Bethesda, like you mentioned about paid mods, where the cons outweigh the pros, the same thing is really starting to apply here. But I do want to at least see what kind of projects they're going to put forth. It's apparently coming in summer 2017, so very soon. And if they come out with some type of big project, maybe it'll change a lot of folks' minds out there, including myself. But for right now, with the way they handled it, it was awful. And I'm not convinced on this whatsoever. So I'd love to see what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Be sure to fire away. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, and do consider supporting my Patreon. It helps fuel all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.